Right, here is Sand River. We will start from east side. Yeah, never eats shredded wheat. Never eats shredded wheat, right? East. Yeah, the idea is pretty simple. You're going up here with hopefully a CS. If you don't have a CS, then probably you will not do this. You might just go here with the medium tank to spot if they cross. But yeah, you just go here with the CS to see everything in the north. Afterwards, you just run away. Yeah, and then your team is going like this, the K line, and like this into the cap, if possible. Yeah, if they come full north, you see them. This CS will just rotate back to base. You'll probably put one heavy tank into the cap, and you will push out to here with probably one of probably the medium tank to like here, and maybe a heavy tank. So then you have three in the cap, capping. You know, you have this guy here with hopefully this guy here. Maybe you put this guy here or him into mid. You could do this probably, technically as well. That might be very nice. Because now you are forcing them to like push into you while having to YOLO for the cap, and you just get free shots with this guy, and you can maybe just body block them as well from getting a reset. And yeah, you're just pushing these guys this way, so if they have a guy here, you can just dump him or peek him. But you know, if they're playing full north, they'll have to just drive like this and come into the cap, and hopefully you have enough crossfires where you should be okay. I probably only play the strat if you have fast tanks. If you're slow, then I mean, you probably won't be able to go for the cap, but you'll probably just still go for K line. But yeah, that's kind of it for if they go north. If they, you know, if your CS peeks up here and sees them going like this, obviously these two people don't go into the cap anymore. They need to see obviously where they go. If they play full K line, then they can probably just come up to like, ideally they come into the K line themselves. This guy will swing down, and this guy will take the mid ridge if he can. If you know there is a guy in the north, then this guy might just come up and help the CS kill him. You hold the K line because you have very good positions. You know, you can just put like guy at the top and two guys. You know, or maybe two guys on the top and this. And if it's a lightly armored medium tank, it can go at the back or it can go here. And yeah, you know, you just cover the full K line, and they shouldn't really be able to dump. You know, if there is nothing north, then obviously you bring this guy in to like probably here, and he can like stop any over pushes. And if there's a guy here, the CS can like kind of annoy him to stop shooting these two people. If there's nothing here, then you just get free positions on stopping them from pushing K line. So I think that's kind of it for if they go K line. I mean, if they like see your setup and try and rotate out, you should be fine because I mean they're committed into here. If not, then they're just sitting here. Then again, you just take the top side of the map and you can crossfire this, right? And you've got to go in with two, and yeah, you see. Most likely you'll just play like I don't know, like two here, maybe three. Guy at the back here. This guy will come K line, and you just go fight the K line. Yeah. If they YOLO cap, obviously you see them coming. These two guys probably should not commit because they're just going to get dumped if they're intelligent or the enemy team's intelligent. They probably they can either like go like this and come up to here, or maybe just stop and come up to the top side, maybe. But probably you want to commit the K line still. This guy again takes the mid ridge with the CS. And again, you just have full crossfire on the cap. I think this position basically resets the entire cap. So, yeah, good luck to them capping when you have, you know, this position and this position. They can't cap, and you'll just slowly kill them and force them probably to dump the K line. So, you know, hopefully you have 5 here and make it undumpable. Undumpable? God, what a long word. But yeah, I mean, they can't sit in the cap. They can't really sit here anymore. And yeah, you'll just slow kill them. This side is just very good. It's Sand River. This side is just broken. Kind of. There is lots of. There's nothing really wrong you can do on this map. Right, next strat is a punish strat. Yeah, you're just going here with most of your team to punish if they cross quick way. This is probably if you have a fast lineup. Obviously, you can't really do it in like E100s. TPs and E5s might have time if they are also having a slow setup, but if they have like 260s, you're probably not gonna get a shot. I think. But yeah, if you have a decent enough speed, you can always punish this cross. So this will obviously spot them if they're coming full north. Yeah, if they want to go YOLO the cap, you just punish them. Hopefully you kill one. In the beginning, this guy should be just sitting on the ridgeline here, and then he'll probably come to either here or here. He might even go K line. It really depends. But yeah, if they go like full this way to try and YOLO the cap, these guys will just come to the mid ridge. You might dump into this if you need a quick reset, but hopefully this guy in base will see them going and then just match their move and come to here. And he might go into the K line. It really depends, really, if they're sending a lot long, sending like tanks to 1-2 and into K line. But you know, if they're full like YOLOing the cap, then this guy can probably just sit here and you can get resets on the outside. These full guys can just sit on the ridgeline somewhere and get a shot. Probably the CS is just covering if they dump over. If they do dump over this guy, hopefully everyone on the mid ridge will have a shot. Then you punish him, so you trade at least 1 for 1. Probably will be 2 for 1, and then afterwards you can just push in and probably fight them. So I don't know, you'd end up something like this, probably. You know, taking all the way around the mid-ridge, having shots, have a guy here, guys here. CS can do whatever. He can reinforce K-line, he can come to the mid-ridge, he can maybe push out that base if there's nothing there. You know, it's up to this guy and what he wants to do. Probably the safest play is always like coming back to K-line, probably, but like it's really up to him if he thinks he can just do better than just sitting on this ridge line with all the other heavy tanks. Then if they come full north, it's kind of your choice on how you want to play it. You can either try and run away and just go into the cap. Again, probably need fast tanks to do that, but if they're like relatively fast, you might be able to do it. It really depends if they bring a guy here to like spot you across, because if they spot you leaving, then you're in a bit more trouble. Then you probably have to come back with this guy to support the guy in base if they try and pressure this out, and these guys will have to come to the mid ridge, and maybe like one guy will go into the cap, and one guy will go those CS runs and goes K line, probably. I mean, you probably have something like this, probably somewhere like that, right? Their move will probably be trying to push out your base because they obviously can't take the mid ridge until this guy is dead. So, yeah. But you can also choose to fight it if you want. You know, you could just stay on this outside bit. The CS just tries to run away and goes south with the other medium tank. I'm saying medium tanks, but like, if like this guy could be a TD, these could be light tanks, you know. But yeah, you just send your double tank south to either put cap pressure on or come to this ridge and this. Because you know, as soon as you get this, you can farm all the people on this ridge, and this guy stops anyone that's sitting like here from punishing this guy. Obviously, if they have a guy here that is a heavy tank, obviously you can't fight it. You might need to send your double medium tank to go kill him, and then you can still farm this. But yeah, that's kind of it. Obviously, if they just full dog YOLO, you have a guy supporting you. You have 4 heavy tanks. This guy will probably be in support as well, and he should be fine. The only thing to be careful of would maybe be like if they have a guy here or like here, maybe, but like they would have to go a long way to do it because obviously you punish this. But I think you're pretty safe here, I think, from this ridge line. So yeah, I mean, you could go inside if you wanted. Like you could go like full here, I guess, if you want. Nothing really wrong with it. It stops enemy teams from pushing you because you know you can go back into this and be supported. But yeah, it's up to you if you think you can do that or not. But yeah, the main idea is to get the south control with your double tank that can that has mobility and hopefully fuck them being on this ridge line and probably force them to dump into you. But Obviously, in this tactic, if they go north, you will definitely lose some tanks for sure. But yeah, I still think it's fine. Right, here is the first replay or YouTube video from East. This is basically the strat I showed you of. I think I showed the strat of going basically cap and south. Yeah, our CS obviously spots this ridgeline, sees that they're playing either a cap or K line. If this E5 stayed, we would have been fucking this 277. Yeah, we haven't punished him so far, but you know, if he was there, he would have been able to probably get 2 or 3 shots onto him. Because they're playing K line, I don't want to sit in the cap. I want to take the K line with the 3 heavies. So we push through the cap onto the K line. It's a pretty safe cross, really. There's nothing really that can shoot you really on this cross. Other than that, 279, but it's fine. But yeah, now we have the M60 on the actual K line. So we have crossfire angles, so we are fine. The Hurricane can come and help us. The E5 is staying because it's a 2v2 now in the north, so they shouldn't be able to push that out. And now it's just like, I mean, the east side has better positions on the K line. Now we saw the Batchat is here, then the E5 should now leave. We're just waiting for this Batchat to jump, and then we'll just murder him. But you know, as you can see, they're all like, I think this is PA, so like, very good players. So we know that they're pushing in together to try and win this, but yeah, we just focus fire this KPZ out. He dies, fantastic. The Batchat is now going to dump in. We just need to focus him. Oh well, we just try and get out. Luckily, our BZ, they focus me, so that's fine. Like, I'd rather lose the VZ. And yeah, we just we trade me for the Batchat again, and like we have the E5 a bit out of the game, but like, I mean, look at the positions, right, and the health. We're completely fine. We have basically completely surrounded them. We just need to wait for the E5 and 60p to get into the game, and then they have literally no hope. Obviously, they have a tank out of the game as well, so like it's really not that bad as it seems. And the health is also still very good, and we're completely fine here. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple game. Like this side just has very good positions on the K line, so they can't really do much. And like just the crossfire that we have is just very good. So unlucky for them, basically. They spawned on the wrong side of the map. But yeah, you do need to be careful of the guy in base. He needs to stay if you see things coming in the north. So I guess, I mean, this is like very micromanaging, but like as soon as the CS gets there, the heavy tank should leave and go south. Because you know they're playing K line themselves, so most likely the heavy tank will have to come at some point anyway, and leaving that medium tank in the base, you will definitely have enough time to rotate to the K line to actually be in the fight, rather than the E5 that was like a little bit slow to get into the fight, but it's very micromanaging. So yeah, I'll speed up until he dies. GG. Here is another replay from south. Well, southeast. Again, I think this is literally the game after, so we get this. We got the Sun River 2 times in a row. But yeah, you can see that we're just yellowing the cap. We see nothing north. We see nothing crossing, so we probably know they're playing slow K line here. So we can definitely just take everything from our base. But I guess they were quick enough where our CS didn't spot them. So they came to cap with 1 for some reason. So yeah, I mean, we kind of just murder him because there's 3 of us there. As you can see, like this position on K-line is just very good. For getting resets, obviously I don't have the amazing counter pressure, but like if I was here, I would be able to shoot all the K-line, all the cap, and yeah, I mean, quickly as this game started, it's already over, right? I mean, they have 1, I think 2 unspotted, but like, yeah, the game is very much over now. I don't really know what the plan was from the enemy team, I can't lie. But yeah, I mean, if they send anything to the cap, you can kind of just murder it if it's by itself. Obviously, if there's like 3 or 4 YOLOing the cap, then I guess you do need to be a little careful, but mostly it's kind of the same. You just play close into the buildings, take the top side, play the K line, and you should be Should be completely fine there. Obviously, they're trying to get their 2 kills now. Get points still. And we just cap out, I think, in time, and he passes. So, yeah, lose no tanks for this, and we win. So, can't really get much better than that. Right, here are the strats for west side now. First strat is playing full top, basically. Mostly because this crosses aids, and going this way is so long that I think it's awful. So yeah, the strat is you're basically just sending your team to here with the 4 tanks, or 4 heavies, or decently whatever tank you have, that is slow or fast or heavy tank, whatever. I don't care. Like just 4 tanks going this way. You have hopefully a CS in your team that can go spot this ridge line. If not, you probably want to go more like to here to spot this cross, and then peek up here eventually. Because I don't think you'll have the speed. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, you just go here with your medium tank to spot if they're coming north, or if they're going like this, or they're going like this. And yeah, if they are going full north, then you are probably just sending this guy all the way around with this guy. These guys can just sit here, this guy can sit here. It really depends on how much they have in the north. I'm not sure on the CS, if CS is fast enough to see them going north. I'm not fully sure, actually. But, if you do, you need to be worried about them pushing to here, so you need to be probably pre-aimed on this cross. Obviously, they'll try and hit them when they cross over to this, like, little hold-down area. Maybe. It really depends. Like, if you can cross over this, you probably should, with, like, 1 more, maybe 2, to have some crossfire, but I think they'll be fast enough to punish you, especially if they have 260s or whatever Russian heavy tank that's fast enough to punish this cross. So yeah, you'll probably just sit here for now and see what happens. This guy's just here to watch this corner, and you're just watching, for crossfire now. And yeah, your double medium tank that is south, it's probably just taking the control. If they've gone full north, like 6 or 7 tanks, then obviously this is free, basically, for you, and you force them into this. If there is nothing in base, you probably just want to go, here. And now they're forced to push into this, or they're just going to be farmed from this guy, and they will do a slow death. If, they do more of a, like, I don't know, 4 tanks, or a lot of tanks to punish this cross, and 1 or 2 north, and 1 here, then again, you want to take the south, but you need to be careful that the medium tank doesn't swing back. But yeah, I mean, the main idea is just get the south control and force them to do something here, obviously into your crossfire. If they go long way with a lot of tanks, which is insane if they do that, like that's mental. Because the base is here, so like, why are you going up here? Like, if you went to the base, they would just lose. It's a bad thing from them. Max they send 2 anymore is ridiculous. I don't think anyone will do that. Then you will just, yeah, I mean, if they send 3 up here, you might just dump into this, honestly. But yeah, if they go south, let's say, or I guess south/cap. If they go cap, then you need to be careful. You need this guy to come to the here, basically, to spot the cap off this ridge line. All these guys can pressure to the mid ridge. This guy might push their base. If you have fast enough tanks, you might send 2. Especially if they have a guy here, you will need to probably send 2 to do this, to kill this. It doesn't matter what tank, it just needs to be whatever fastest tank you can to come to this ridge line to pressure this guy away so your people on mid ridge can be safe. So that needs to be done, and then you hopefully have enough angles from the top ridge where you can delay long enough to where, you can get people towards the cap and you should be okay. But yeah, you might need another tank to come closer into the cap. But if they have nothing here, you can just obviously send your 4 tanks here. You might send your medium tank back to support this guy so he doesn't get like jumped or whatever. But Also taking this is completely fine. Again, just having another angle somewhere, and if he can come to here, then fantastic. He can get even better resets. If they go like slow south, or they don't YOLO the cap, but they still go south, again, it's basically the same thing. You're sending probably 2 here, 4 here. This guy can come to here, or he can come to here. And you just sit, really, and see what happens. Most likely, if they play slow south, they will probably put 1 to the cap, and they might come back with 1 tank to stop me pressuring this guy. And then it will kind of just turn into like an onslaught battle, really, but without strikes. And you just have to see if you can repush this side, or you want to repush this basically with your heavy tanks, or whatever tanks you have. And yeah, that's kind of it for this, really. I can't think of any other reactions. Right, next is just a pretty simple YOLO cap. Obviously, you can only do this strat if you have fast enough tanks for it. So Russian heavies, 277s, etc. If you have slow tanks, I would always recommend just going north. If they go cap, then GG, but you can maybe make some miracles happen. But anyway, for this strat, you're just sending 4 tanks straight into the cap or towards the cap. You put 3 in the cap. The other one can either jump into the K line here, and see if they're coming K line, and just fight them a little bit so they can't really peek on your heavy tanks. You have this guy here just to stop any like pushes in the mid. Also, that's something they have to push into if they want to stop the cap. You just still have a guy watching to see if they're coming north. If you see them coming north, you can just sit in the camp probably and try and cap them out. Especially if they're not spotting this cross, then they have no idea. And yeah, that's pretty simple. After you get the spot off, you should run away. Ideally, I mean, it'd be amazing if you get back to here. But most likely, you'll probably only be able to get back to like here or here. You might even go K line. Like the ideal setup would be like something like this. So this guy does the ridge line and then comes back to here. This guy is also coming K line. So then you have something like that. Now you have this guy supporting this guy. You have crossfire. You should be pretty well and force them to come into the cap at different speeds, and hopefully just murder them with your crossfire. But I'm not fully sure on this. If it's a CS, it might be able to get out, but if it's any other medium tank, you probably will just be forced to come back to like here somewhere, or maybe just to here, and play something like this. This guy's just here to watch all the ridgeline peaks, so they can't just sit here peacefully. And yeah, they're forced to just YOLO into the cap basically. If they go cap themselves, obviously you're just having a fight, probably in between the buildings. I can't really explain anything specific on that. You just have a fight, you see what happens. They'll probably just YOLO like this if they want the fast cap, or I guess like this. And yeah, I think you should be first, to be fair, but yeah, you just have a fight, not really more than I can explain. If you probably do then leave with this guy from the base to more into the K line, this guy can probably just stay in the north now, for now. He might come to this ridge line later, if he knows that there is nothing here, but normally there will be. But even then, you can maybe just play on one of these rocks and chill. If they go slow K line, again, it's kind of just the same thing, though. If they go full K line, I probably wouldn't cap. Though you maybe could on like this side instead of, you normally cap like here on the outside. So if they come K line, you can't really sit like this. You have to go like this if you want the cap, but I don't know if there's enough room for that. But if you're fast enough with your Russian heavies, you may be able to just like go to like here. This guy can go to the mid ridge. I would probably bring this guy into the K line as well. And then you play something like this, and you just try and stop them from kind of being able to dump this. And eventually you might just, it might be a stalemate here, to be honest, but I think it's probably better than sitting in the cap. You can't really let them take the K line for free because there's too many angles on the cap where you will eventually die, and eventually they'll just shoot down the buildings and get resets on you. So I think you're forced to kind of pressure into the K line. Yeah, I mean, obviously you probably will know that if you see nothing north, and if you have a CS here, he sees nothing crossing this gap, and then you should know that they're coming like a long way to K line. I mean, if you have enough time and they're slow, you might be able to get like a few tanks up to the top, so then you actually have crossfire onto these people coming up to the top, and they're forced to sit here for a bit, and maybe then you can rotate your CS out if it's a stalemate and get control of this and force them to dump into this. But yeah, that's like if they have nothing here, or lots of things could happen. I mean, you could maybe put like one guy in the cap, to be fair. Like maybe the CS just sits in the cap and the other CS can just stay up here. And then you put cap pressure on to force them into this, but yeah. A lot of things. But I think that's everything for this. Right, here is a replay from West side now. So yeah, I mean we're just basically doing the top side strat that I showed you. Obviously we don't have a CS, so can't really spot if they're coming fast. I can't spot them quickly really, so luckily they are playing north here. So I rotate one of my heavy tanks to the south because we were able to cross up to the north as well with the M5Y. Now we are basically just going to rotate south to secure this side. I think this game, from what I remember, became very close. So I think it did. We'll see. But yeah, obviously they have some people in the cap now, with one playing K-line as well. Just one playing K-line, one in the cap. Still possibly one unknown. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so one still unknown that's probably in base, I think someone said. But yeah, because this 113 is kind of alone, we can definitely push him. I think he's AFK even. Unlucky for him, but I mean, we'd kill him, I think, regardless. Maybe. Maybe not, actually. There is 3 here. But I think we would have killed him still. This Kaylan would have just gone worse. But yeah, I mean, the Leo has no armor, so we just murder him as well. And now we can just start killing the BZ, basically. Like, yeah. A very quick game. The 113, if he was in the game, probably gets 2, maybe 3 shots off. So, like, I would have probably died, probably. But I think we still win this flank, and yeah, now the game is over, basically. Yeah, I mean, if you see that K-line commit, you have to take your tank out from D2 to come to the K-line. You push through your 2 tanks that you've rotated out into the K-line as well. Obviously, if they have like, I don't know, if for some reason they have like 3 in the cap and 4 north, then obviously it's a 3 in the cap, and you might rotate one more guy from the north. But yeah, pretty simple again. 7-0. Can't really complain. And here's another replay from West. Again, this is just my going north strat. So obviously I've changed some things from this. I think this is a very old video, I think from a year ago. So obviously I should have the CS spotting in the north here to see if it's coming north, but as I have a ban, I don't even spot north. It's very weird. Anyway, we kind of see them in the north, kind of half split, so we probably know that they're not full north and they'll be coming south with a few tanks. I thought at this point we'll just probably go and shoot the I7 in the mid, but in retrospect, and kind of from knowledge now, I would always probably commit the K-line here. I would go to G1 here with me and the I7 to secure the K-line, because they're not YOLO capping, so they're probably most likely K-line, and yeah, there they are. So I think me and the I7, we have enough time to shoot this I7 once and then come back, but I think this is just a bad play, to be honest. Let the enemy team possibly shoot us, so it just wasn't a good play. IMO. But yeah, after we see them K-line, I basically bring my entire team and I'm just gonna go repush it. Pretty simple. I think unfortunately they see this 260 crossing. I think you'll see him spam help in a sec. Yeah, there we go. So he's spotted, and there's a guy in G1. So technically the enemy team should probably know that we're gonna repush K-line here, but I guess they think they can hold it because they stay. Most good teams will probably run away when they see 1-260 what they call repushing, or at least rotating. So it's a bit odd that they stay here, but I guess they only thought it was 1-260, I guess, and thought they could hold it. But yeah, it's not. It's not just 1-260. There's 4 tanks from top side. Me and David, or the I7. I don't know actually who's in the I7. I can't remember. I think it starts with a D. But yeah, we can pressure from behind them. Now we have 6 tanks on 3. It's a bit unfair. So yeah, you just need to find these overmatches in these 77 games. Luckily we found one pretty easily here. I don't really know. I guess they just thought that they could hold it here, but yeah, definitely could not. So it did seem like they thought they could rotate their team in time, I guess, because they did rotate double 7, 4, 5, 2Ks, so or 2 of them. So yeah, I guess they thought they were quick enough to rotate, but yeah, they were not. So unlucky for them. But yeah, we just catch 3 tanks. We don't lose anything for it. Getting out to like E5 in the north to stop holding, and now can come into the fight. And yeah, now it's. I mean, we are a lot of health down. I didn't play great, to be honest. I should have been here in the beginning instead of being able to. But instead, I got shot by 452Ks twice instead, so I lost like 1,000 health, which was not great by me. But I don't know, it's very weird. This I7 pushes through mid, but yeah, then just doesn't die. I don't know. Very weird. I think he just gave up, I guess. But yeah, I mean, a pretty simple game, I would think. Like, if you don't get spotted on that cross to back to K line, this push basically works every time if they try and stay. Especially because we had like 2 behind them as well, so it wasn't too bad to have these 2 people here instead of on this side. Because at least if you push like this, you stop them from running, right? But yeah, I mean, game over, really. Pretty nice game, really. I mean, obviously we lose quite a lot of tanks for this. I mean, like David and Chris are both on low health, but I don't think we were playing like especially best because this is just Titan strongholds. I think we were practicing for um the campaign last year in March, I think, when we went to PA. So yeah, pretty nice game.